And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. So today we're going to be finishing off our season 5, episode 8 review of Stranger Things season 5. So I have my good friend Jedi Master Tuck here. We're here to talk about everything within the Upside Down and saying goodbye to our friends that we grew up, well, not grew up with, but that we followed on this show since 2016. So with further ado, let's go on ahead. Let's talk about this and let's do it. And hey, Don, welcome back.
How we doing? How we doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Finally
How are
done.
you?
We can finally get over this woke show and just move on from this woke show.
I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. But you know
I-
what, though?
I'm ready.
Me
So,
too. So, all right, everybody, welcome back to the podcast where Hawkins is never safe, the bikes are always stolen, and emotional damage is apparently a serious requirement. So tonight we're talking about the Stranger Things season 5 finale, also known as "Why Am I Crying Over Fictional Characters Again?" Netflix, I trusted you, and no, that character was not supposed to die like that. This is the episode where the Duffers said, "You've had a hope long enough." Where Vecna said, "I'm not done traumatizing you yet," and where the Upside Down basically became a full-time resident of Hawkins real estate. We're breaking down everything: the deaths that hurt, the moments that made us all yell at our TVs, the callbacks that made us point like Leonardo DiCaprio, and that ending, you know the one, to sit in silence and stare into the credits like you just survived the war ending. If you haven't watched this finale yet, turn this off now, because once we open this gate, there is no closing it. So grab your egos, hug your childhood, and pour one of you out for Hawkins. And ask yourself one final question: was this the ending we wanted, or the ending Stranger Things needed? So, coming off the gate here, I have to say that whenever you see the two worlds colliding, and when you also see how they're trying to use the antenna as a beanstalk to get up to the upside up, or that's at least what I'm calling it.
yeah.
But, you know, I felt really scared for them. I really thought that we would actually lose some of these characters because of how close danger they actually become. And I think that they should have killed off someone in that moment. I think that they should have killed off Steve, even though I love Steve and I love the character.
How
But
dare you, sir?
well, I'm just
so
saying,
happy Dustin saved him again. Oh my God, I'm so happy.
my heart was in my
Jonathan,
throat.
I'm sorry, Jonathan saved him. Yeah, I was so happy that was him.
Me too. I'm glad it was him, and I like how they have this back and forth moment though when they get into the other dimension where Vigna's at, and he's like, "Look, I may not like you or anything, but I don't
I
want you to
respect
die."
the shit out of you. Yeah.
Right.
No, it was a great moment. Yeah.
It was a great moment between the two of them. I really liked that moment.
Loved
But
it.
what were some of the other standouts that you actually have to say that you enjoyed about it?
Oh man, there's so much good stuff in this episode for me. I mean, all the stuff with Vecna, the fact that the Mind Flayer is still there. I knew it was going to be still something controlling Vecna, that he was just a general. I had a feeling that that was more of what was going on. I love the way they did that with the hand of Vecna becoming the legs of the, spider per se,
Right. Right.
of the Mind Flayer. Yeah, I like that little touch. Everything with them up top when they finally do get through. There's so much in this episode that happens. I mean, everything with Will and 11 being able to communicate back and forth, and just those moments with them, and then
Yeah.
I don't want to
But
get to the one moment, but the one moment at the end that happens with her really hit me hard.
yeah, that moment hit me really hard as well. But we'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Yeah, I don't want to get there
But
yet.
yeah, we're gonna jump around and stuff like that and talk about our favorite scenes and stuff like that, guys. This is not gonna be a scene for scene thing. So just letting you
Yeah.
guys know, we are gonna jump around just like we did last time. But you know, my heart was in my throat whenever you see see Steve go over the reel, and then it goes into being black, and then you're like, oh shit, did he die? And then you see Jonathan holding him up. So I like that moment between them, and then having that moment, like I said, in the world of Vecna. But I do want to touch on the fact that I think they did a good job as far as them going into Vecna's world, and then them seeing that giant hand of Vecna and how Vecna's hand actually transforms into the Mind Slayer.
Mhm.
And this is what we talked about before in our predictions, there has to be something bigger and badder than him,
Yeah.
even though he's controlling it. But at the same time, though,
It's more of a symbiote kind of relationship from what he says, right? They're kind of like they're kind of working together as one at this point, kind of thing. Yeah.
right, exactly. Because remember, it was that. Remember, as a kid, it called to him.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then Vecna actually used the flare as a way to actually get what he wants.
Yeah, and I'm glad. I don't know if we want to get to it yet, but I'm glad there's a choice he gets to make at some point, and I'm glad he doesn't make the choice. I'm glad he makes the choice he makes
What was the what was that choice that you were?
to either help them or to turn
Yeah,
against it. I'm glad he did not turn against it. I'm glad he was the bad guy, like the
me too.
actual.
Because I
Yeah,
didn't want this to be like Star Wars, right? Where you
no,
hope that this character doesn't go,
yeah,
that they
no.
hope that they go into the light side and not the dark side.
This dude has killed way too many people, kidnapped kid. I mean, yeah, this he's not redeemable at this. He's not a redeemable character.
No, and I didn't want it to be like that. But I'm
No.
happy that Will was trying to talk to him.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I
no,
mean?
Will has to do that for
That's
sure.
something that I really liked. I really liked
Yes.
the fact of like, hey man, don't do this and stuff like. I like how he's trying to talk him down,
Yep. I have no problem with
and
that part of it. Yeah.
I
No.
love that. I really loved how that was, and then you come to realize there is a little bit of a human side to him. To
Mhm.
him, then he's like, look, I cannot do that.
He also feels, kind of like the what Will is feeling almost, where it's like he feels like he's not strong without this person, like this entity helping him. Like he feels like he's weak without it, just like Will feels weak without his friends. So
Right, and
it's
also
sort of that where they kind of have that in common almost, and he's trying to, touch that part of him, but in that moment, but again, I like that he's like, no, I'm too far gone. Like this, I'm no, I'm
right,
happy with my decision at this point.
right. He is who he is. There's no changing him. No changing going
Yeah,
back to who
not
he
all
is.
bad guys have to be like have to come back at some point. I mean, some can
Right,
just be
because then I
bad.
feel like this though, man. It's not just because the whole Star Wars lingo I just brought up. It's the
Yeah,
fact that you did all this to get to this point, and then you have these characters who are jeopardizing their lives to stop something, and then to say, "Hey, look, we want to make this guy a good guy now." So you mean all
yeah,
that shit, all that lead up? If they did
right,
this, I'm not saying that they did, guys. I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is, you're telling me after all this lead up, now you want to go on ahead and make him good, and it makes it
yeah,
look like all these other characters that died before this was
no,
for nothing. So I'm glad they didn't do that.
yeah,
And but I do like the layers that they pulled on to give us that little human emotion and
hmm,
to show that side of him. And it's like, nah, this is who I am. And then the thing with Holly inside the tunnel, whenever you see that flashback again and him bashing the scientist's face in with the rock, and then him
yeah,
taking it, and then him getting into the upside down. Now, I went when we were starting to do when I started doing our shorts for this. Are you
uh huh.
guys jobless? Bro,
Wow.
let me tell you something. I'm not jobless. I have a job. I work 8 hours, 5 days a week. And like you don't need to know that. But I do have a job. And I also have a wife, by the way. And I don't live in my grandma's basement that wants to go on ahead and crash on somebody else's YouTube channel right now. So have a good time and a
Been
good
having a good
life.
time, man. Yeah, really.
So,
Wow.
anyways, douche.
People, man.
so,
People.
anyways, back to what I'm saying. I'm sorry for the ranting. But what I'm trying to say, say is this. I think when I started doing the shorts for us and started doing the editing process for it, remember how we actually see the flashback of Vecna of Henry in that other part of that world, and there's a different shade, a different color shape, and everything in it.
Hmm. Yeah.
That was actually that world, and we didn't know that at that time. But I'm like,
Yeah, we didn't.
okay, so
Yeah.
this actually fits in with the narrative of what they're trying to do with the season finale. So
Hmm.
it connects. So that's something I really like that they did with that. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh, it all connects. Yeah. Again, it does make sense. It just took a while for them to get there. I do feel like they kind of, and I don't want to say strung it out, but they definitely left the secret covered for till this final season. Like I don't think this is any. I don't think anybody would have guessed this is where it was going. Was a different dimension and like you know what I mean. I feel
right?
like they kept that secret pretty good because I never got that. a hint of that before this season. You know what I mean? So they kept that secret pretty well.
I think so too. I think they actually kept it pretty close to what they wanted to do and how they wanted to finish, despite the fact that they ran into the writer strikes and stuff within the
Yeah.
show. But they
Mhm.
did what they could do with it. And the only there's a couple of little nitpicks I have with it. Is number one, the
Sure.
Hamilton's character with Harper. I want to know what the hell. What did he do to her? And I mean, I wish that we got like some type of flashback just to show what he did or
Yeah.
something. But no, she just shows up randomly at the very beginning of the show to show that she's actually the bad person, which I think that would have been better if they went on ahead, got rid of her, and just have that one army guy in there inside the
Mhm.
upside down trying to stop them versus it being her again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's just rents, you know what I'm saying? It's just repeating itself.
Yeah. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I don't know why. Those are the little things that they do where I'm just kind of like, but why? But why did we need that? Just why did we need that moment? We didn't really need that moment. We could have kind of moved past that. Yeah.
Right.
What are you gonna do though?
But
What are you gonna do?
yeah, but that's just a little small nitpick out of this whole entire 2 hour long episode, though.
Sure. There's so much good.
And
So I agree.
but then you have the other thing with Holly, who ends up damaging Henry when she and
Mhm.
then and you know for a fact that they were setting this up to begin with when the last episode where Henry's afraid to go into this other part of the
Yeah.
cave, and I'm like, you do realize that you just helped the dude face his fears by going into the cave by teasing him and mocking him.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, I need to get in order for me to get what I want, I have to go on ahead and get these kids back on track again.
Not to mention, I do feel like now again, we don't know, but I feel like he was getting ready to give up again in that moment and go back out of the cave until she poked her head around
Hmm.
and he saw her and he got that kind of like second burst of energy of like, okay, no, I need to push through this.
For me, though, I felt the opposite. I felt like, okay, I'm already this deep into the cave, and I need to keep going because I already made it through this part. And then, like you said, I think that I didn't think he was going to stop and go back out. I think he was going to go back, but just to know that Holly was just going to go in and check and see how far deep he is. I
Yeah.
think that, like you said, it gave him more motivation to do that. But at the
Yeah.
same time, though, I want to know this: how the hell was Derek going to fit into that little small hole?
I don't know because Max could barely fit through it. Like, and only because she was a little bit older than Holly was that they said that she couldn't fit through it, really, only because she was older and just had a bigger build than her. So I don't know how they were going to figure that one out, but I'm glad he got through. And but
Me too.
he did not fit
He
through.
must have just
That was
Winnie
a
the
Winnie
Pooh
the
it,
Pooh moment, like we said.
right?
It was a
But
Winnie the Pooh moment. Think thin, think thin. What's the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back when he's stuck in the
yeah,
thing? Think thin.
think then.
Yeah, that's what
But
that was.
then you also have this other stuff that happens where you have the Linda Hamilton character coming into the into the radio station and stuff, and you already know this is not going to be good. I also like how they wind up doing this, where you have 11 and 8 coming in, and they're in each other's heads, and then you go on ahead and use Max as a way to get into her head so she can show the memories of Vecna. So I like
Yeah,
this moment with them. And I also like this 1950s moment again, where we get to see it again, but this time because, okay, in that room is Mrs. Wheeler.
yeah,
Well, Mrs. Wheeler's also in the hallway, but then if you look over to the left, you actually
yeah.
have
Papa's still gonna join in their stairwell or there, and yeah, yeah,
right,
yeah,
and then you also have Will's parents feeling the father's feeling up on the mother, but we
yeah,
don't have time for that. So let's
yeah,
go on ahead. Let's keep on going. So I like how she's like the tour guide for this little Back to the Future moment of
yeah.
even because it's the
It
first
did feel
time
like
in
Back to
someone's
the Future a lot in that
right.
moment. Yeah, it
But
definitely did.
I also felt bad for Harper though too because Vecna goes back into our world and tries to manipulate him, and
Yep,
then we're thinking with him that
dude.
he shot 11.
When that happens, man, I my jaw dropped. Like I just couldn't. Oh man, that was rough to see that because yeah, I mean you automatically assume he shot her.
Yeah, that's what you automatically
Seeing the
assume.
blood and everything when he first pulls the thing open, you assume that that's what happened. Yeah, that was that was a gut punch.
And then after that, he winds up taking his hand, basically breaking the glass open just to get her open.
Yeah, with the gun. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And then
And I thought so when they first show 8 and 11 in Max's head. I thought that was fake. I thought that was 8 messing with them.
you see, I
I
didn't think
really
that.
did. Yeah. Just
I
because I
didn't
didn't trust her yet at that point. I still didn't trust her at that point.
I didn't like her. I still didn't.
Yeah.
At this moment, I really didn't like her,
That's
but
what
I
I mean.
knew it
So
wasn't
I'm
her.
thinking this is not 11's not actually there. It's actually just her by herself thinking that making her see 11 there with her.
See, I was
Like I
thinking the
thought
other.
she was in Max's head messing with Max.
See, I didn't think that. I thought I was really thinking that she was there with Max and everything, and they were really going through this.
Well, I
You know,
realized it when they cut back to that because then they
right?
have the conversation. But when
Uh,
it first shows them, because she just says hi or hey Max or something like that, I'm like,
Right.
oh, I don't know about this. This doesn't feel right.
I was okay with that. I was just thinking what's going to happen later
Yeah,
versus it because of the bridge and stuff, what they
right.
discussed.
Yeah. No,
But
there's a lot. Yeah.
I also when I upon the rewatch and stuff like that too, I noticed the color scheme actually was different whenever Vigna comes into our world and Hopper
Mhm.
is having this Nightmare on Elm Street kind of
Yeah.
feeling and stuff. And then him seeing the cans of explosives and stuff, like the jugs of explosives and stuff like that too. So
Well, I
my
also noticed they do this kind of sweeping cut when they switch between them, like when they go from the regular world to like in his mind. They do like this cut where the camera like kind of pans across them really fast, and then it's like a cut to another angle of them. Really, it's kind of weird how they do it subtly, but you can definitely like see it sometimes when they
well,
cut to the other side.
right, because with Vigna's color scheme is like kind of like a lightish brownish color, darkish
Hmm.
brown.
Hmm.
So it shows you the different tone and style that they have for it, just like if someone's inside a dream sequence.
Hmm.
So that's what I looked at. I'm like, okay, Vigna's here. He's manipulating him in some way. But the first round, I was just as shocked as you were. Like, I was
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh, did he really kill 11 while she was in the tank?
I was so happy
And
he didn't. So
me
happy.
too. But then after that, 11 was like, what did you do?
Yeah, yeah.
And now they have to figure out, now they have no choice but to go into the the other dimension that Vigna's at.
Yeah, because what do you do at that point? You've already blew your shot of being in his brain. You had your shot and you blew it right there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, I do think that they kind of rushed a little bit of this where because I wanted
She
more.
didn't need to. I don't feel like they needed to.
No, just a little bit of a setup on certain things. I feel like, you know what? Give me some demigorgons, give me some threats to get to where they were. Unless Vigna was where he was just thinking, okay, I got this in the bag and no one's going to come after me.
Hmm.
So that's what I was thinking too. Maybe he was thinking, there's no sense of me having the demigorgons or the demon bats, even though the demon bats are underneath the mind flare, which is where what
Yeah.
Dustin and them were killing. But maybe he was thinking, well, you know what? I don't need them because I already got what I needed. I already got my vessels. I already got that. So I don't really need the demigorgons. No one's gonna come after me. And I
See,
just wanted a little bit more of a challenge.
I will say I'm kind of wondering now, would it have played better if we got the hints of Will being connected to him, but until this moment we didn't know that, or he didn't show it. And when they get up there, 11 would confront a whole army of the demigorgons, the demidogs, whatever, by herself as like the distraction, while he actually infiltrated his mind and finished the job at that point. I wonder if that story would have played better for
But
people.
also too, I think that he would also wind up
People are
hurting his
very
own self.
disappointed there was no actual fight at the end, where I was like, this is one of the coolest fights I've ever seen at the end, where they're like in each other's minds and like messing with each other and playing tricks with each other. Like I loved all of it. Like
Me
I
too.
didn't need the big explosions and the big like fights with the Debbie. I mean, I know that's what people wanted, but I kind of like the mind manipulation part of it all. It
I
was
like the
fun.
mind manipulation part. I just wanted a little bit more of the challenge of working my way
Sure,
over to that. That's all I wanted. I don't want the
sure.
explosions or anything, but I just wanted to see a little bit more of
Oh, I
the.
didn't mean you. I just meant people
But
have been
wait,
saying that.
right,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just saying, like for me as a viewer, is what I'm
yeah.
saying. I'm not saying that you said this about me or anything. I'm just saying
Okay.
me as a viewer, as someone that's watching this,
Mhm.
I would want to see a little bit more of a, you know, because we already have Dustin and Steve in their armor gear getting ready to go to war with these monsters,
Right,
and there's
right.
no monsters there.
Yeah. That was a little bit of a disappointment. I will admit that. Again, just as a somebody that does, want to see a little action once in a while and likes it. I would like to have seen them fight a few things to get to him, but I also kind of was like, I really like what they're doing with Will getting into his mind and trying to talk him down, and then with her getting into his mind eventually. And I mean, there was a lot going on, man. There was a lot going on, even without the big battle scenes, going on. So
I
I did
agree.
like what they did. Yeah.
I do like the mind manipulation thing whenever they're inside the mind flayer too.
And when they almost have him and then he just disappears, and she's like, no, he went to the real world. He'll be back.
Right, but I also think of it like this though, dude. This is another thing I like though,
Mhm.
was where she was manipulating him the whole time, like just manipulating him
Yeah.
inside the mind flare, and she has to try and think of a way to actually sneak up on him and stuff like that too. So I like that. Then even whenever he's inside the house, when we're inside his childhood memory and stuff like that inside that house, I like that moment too
Yeah.
because you know you get to see Vecna, you see everybody around the table, and she winds up taking Vecna, Levin does, and just chunks him out the window.
Yep. Just straight up force push. Get out of here. Yeah. I said we got really cool moments. Like we got really cool moments. The end with him getting her pushing him onto that big spike or whatever. It's pretty freaking crazy, man. And then Joyce going ham.
Right.
I mean,
And
there's some
I think
crazy
that
stuff
was,
happening.
I'm going to be real with you. Whenever she winds up taking him near the spike and then lowering his body even more onto that spike, she doesn't kill him all the way.
Mm-mm.
And I like how they left it open for Joyce to do it because she's the one who's been suffering with this thing.
The most. Oh my God, yes.
And my favorite moment is when you see her whack his head, taking wax at his head.
Dude, it was so cathartic. You could feel every one of those hits.
You could. And then the flashbacks, each memory of everyone that's been dealing with Vecna and the
Yes.
manipulation
Oh,
of Vecna.
so good. It was so good, man. All of it was so good. The way they ended this, like I said, I love this season. I really love this season. There were things I think they could have changed. There are things I think they could have did different, but overall, I'm gonna watch this season and be like, hell yes, we finished on a badass way. Like we had some pretty cool stuff. And I'll tell you one thing I really love, and I don't know if a lot of people notice it or not, but the first person that goes up through the little thing into the Vecna world is Nancy with a gun in her hand.
Yep.
Nancy is the one leading the charge. Like, no, I got this. Coming
I
from
love
where
it.
she comes from the first season to now, so awesome. I love Nancy as a character, man. She's
Me
a
too.
really
She goes from being this frightful person in the first
yes.
season,
Oh,
and
so
then
scared. Yeah.
it keeps on. Her character just keeps on having that character arc now to the point where
Yep.
it's like, you know what? You got my sister now. I'm out for vengeance,
Yep.
and I'm here. I'm gonna get you. You already got my friend Barb, so now you got my sister. You fucked with the wrong family.
Dude, I love her arc so much in this series. Like just where she came from to where she is now. She is such a badass.
I agree, and you know what?
Which
Though
is why it kind of more makes sense. Sorry to cut. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
oh, no,
But
no,
it
no.
makes more sense now. The scene with them from last episode, where her and Jonathan kind of decide to split, and she kind of wants to be on her own because it makes sense. Like she's not that type of person. Like she wants to do her own thing. She wants to make it
She's
hit the world.
independent
Like,
now.
yeah, Yeah. So
She doesn't
again, I
need
think she'll
saving.
settle down eventually, but I just think right now that's not what she wants. That's not what she wants, and they know that.
Right, exactly. She's an independent woman who has her own mind, her own way of thinking and everything. She doesn't need to depend on no man or anything.
Nope.
She just wants to do her, and I don't blame her. And you know what? She does remind me of Linda Hamilton
Yeah.
with or Sigourney Weaver as
Hmm.
well.
Hmm. Oh yeah, she's definitely that '80s. Yeah, that '80s action hero type female character for
And I
sure.
like how she gives Will no Mike. She gives Mike a flare gun. Because look,
Yeah.
I've been through everything. I just want
Oh
a
my
gun.
god,
She
that
gives him a
moment is
flare
so
gun.
funny. Oh my god, yeah. Oh, I love it. Oh,
And Lucas goes, you just
that,
gave she gave you a flare gun, right?
she gave you a flare gun. Yeah, like you didn't. Yeah, but it came in handy in the end.
Right.
It came in handy.
It's just like when you roll something in D&D, right? Where you roll for weapons and you get the most shittiest weapon, and then so happens to be that shitty weapon is the one that saves you in a campaign.
Hmm. Not to mention them throwing the stuff on the thing and then lighting it up. That's you could do that in D&D where you could
Right.
throw like oil on like an area and then light it on fire and it does more damage. Yeah.
Right.
So I yeah, again, little stuff like that I love. I love that. And I
I
love the
enjoy
little
that.
part of her being in the cave and it coming at her. Oh man, that was crazy. I was like, oh, we're gonna lose Nancy. I was like, no.
It was one of those things where, each moment we were actually on the edge of our seats because we weren't
Yeah.
sure if these characters were going to make it. But I wish that they would have gave us a little bit more, just give us a certain some characters die off or something. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I keep on wanting people to die. I don't know.
No, it's not even that. I just feel like, yeah, like people would die in this situation though. Like this isn't like, this isn't like a normal. So this is a dude with real powers that can really kill anybody he wants at any
Right.
time. Like,
You have a freaking mind flare that's
yeah,
supernatural.
yeah, yeah.
But
No, I do agree with
yeah,
that. I do think that takes some of the kind of stakes out of it, but I do feel like they gave us enough of those moments, like the gut punch with Steve, the gut punch, where we kind of get those moments where yeah.
right.
So, but yeah, people should have died.
But
I like to believe that 11's gone. I'll say it right now. I think 11's gone.
and we're gonna get to that in a minute because I do
Yeah,
want to
but
talk about some of the heart. I want to talk about the heart pounding moments though too.
mhm,
When Harper's talking to 11,
mhm,
and she's like, "Look, you just have to trust me that I'm gonna make the right decision."
yeah.
And he
Good
goes, "Look."
moment with them too, by the way. Great moment with them.
And Harper's explained to her, "Look, you've been through a lot. You've been through a little trauma with your parent, your mom, and stuff like
Mhm,
that too. There's been a lot of bloodshed, a lot of violence and stuff, violence on top of violence."
mhm.
And he was just there for 11. And then you could see 8 slowly, like, okay, I need to back off
Yeah.
because you can see in that moment, it's like, okay, I've definitely crossed my line here, trying to sacrifice herself on a bridge
Mhm,
and stuff.
mhm.
So I definitely can see a little bit of like, okay, I need to hold back
Yep. Oh,
as
yeah,
far
in
as that
that
goes.
moment, she definitely just let them have their moment, yeah. Yeah.
And then she winds up getting shot. Hopper winds up taking 11. And then he winds up like, look, I'm not leaving another daughter behind, even though he doesn't think of her as a daughter or anything. But it's like,
No,
I'm
but
not going to
yeah,
leave another child behind.
yeah, yeah,
And
it
he
was a good
winds up
moment.
taking her. Yeah.
It was a good moment, yeah.
But let's talk about the ending. Let's talk about once everything wraps up. We talked about Joyce chopping off Vecna's head, but we didn't talk about 11 taking away Vecna's arm, where she basically
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that was amazing.
that was cool. That was really cool.
And you can definitely tell that she definitely buffed up, where, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
she definitely went on ahead, not afraid of Vecna anymore, not afraid of anything. She's ready to go full throttle with this. She's been training for this.
Mhm.
And I like how Vecna thinks that he can still do the same tricks that he did with her all through the years, and he can't do it. And then her taking his arm and just basically just ripping it off.
It was really cool. Not even that, but when he has her inside the house and the kids are there and they're behind the wall, but that 8 has up
Yeah,
the she's letting him do that at that moment. He's not stronger than her in that moment. That's the crazy thing is he's letting her hold her there. Or
right.
she's letting him hold her there, I should say. Sorry.
But I like it. I like what they did with
Yeah.
that. I also like the fact that all the kids are now back, and then you finally
It
get
just shows
another.
it shows, like you said, the growth of her and just where she is at that moment. Like she's not worried at all that he can do anything to her in that moment. She's
Right.
calm in that moment. Like just wait. Just
I
wait.
feel like all these characters grew. Every one of them had great
Yeah.
character arcs within this series. Some people are like, oh, I don't think they know what they want to do with Joyce. No, Joyce is a mother who's sick and tired of being threatened by this supernatural being and also attacking her son and
Mhm.
be going through the government stuff too, the military and being haunted by him. And not only that, even in season 2, when they actually had to basically break that whole entire fever thing that he did as
Mhm.
well. So she's been dealing with trauma on top of trauma with her son and dealing with everything to the point it was like this is her breaking point.
Yeah.
Every swing
Yeah.
was for each character that's been dealing
And
with it.
everybody's come so far. I mean, look at Lucas. Lucas wouldn't hang out with them because of 11, because Mike was so like in love with 11. And you remember the early like season, was it
Yeah.
season 1 or 2? It was one,
Well,
the first season, yeah, when they first met her. And he wouldn't hang out with them because, and now look where he's at, where he's
he's
connected
got a
to Max.
girlfriend.
Yeah, like him and Max is like it's a thing now, and that's it's one of the best relationships in the show. So just the arc of that, that character's come so far where he was like, one way in the very beginning and just, so much different and so much more, in the story, like in the fabric of the story,
Right.
which I love. Yeah.
So now we got a little bit of a jump, time jump again.
Yeah.
And now you
In game months.
have, yeah. So now everybody's graduating.
Mm-hmm.
You have Mike who's going through the emotions of not having an 11 there. And let's talk about this. I know that we're jumped up. I want to talk about the music choices that they did for 11.
Mm-hmm.
Like they go into it with when doves cry,
Mm-hmm.
with them leaving the upside down and then
Yeah.
making it explode. And the lyrics to the songs and the choices that they did was great for it. I think it sets up on who 11 is and also
Mm-hmm.
um it also establishes this whole entire thing.
I agree. 100%. 100%. Yeah. Look, this is one of the best scored shows of all time. Like, just they have some of the best music at the best times in this show. Yeah,
I agree.
they definitely do.
Like, let's look at the Purple Rain lyrics, okay?
Hmm.
Because this reminds me of the talk that her and Mike had, right?
Hmm.
It says, I never meant to cause you any sorrow. I never meant to cause you any pain. Only wanted one time to see you laughing. Only wanted to see you laughing in the purple rain. That's basically saying, hey, look, Mike, I don't mean to cause you any pain. Hey, Harper, I don't mean to cause you any pain.
Hmm.
But in order for me to end this, I'm going to have to go away.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not
It-
going to be
it-
able to live. Right.
it's wild, man. It's wild how good they are at doing this. I really want I really want Sean Levy and the Duffer Brothers to do some other stuff, man. I really think they need to keep working together.
I think so too. And, from
Yeah.
what I know, they want to do a couple of spin-offs of Stranger Things and stuff like that.
I just feel like they have such a grasp on this world and just these characters that, yeah. Maybe they do a spin-off with the Holly character and her friends at the
That's
end.
what okay, let's talk about that in a minute. But I
Okay.
do like how we have these moments with Mike and
Yeah.
Hopper. He's like, look, kid, I know you're going through a hard time.
That moment is so awesome.
Yeah, because it's like crossroads,
Mhm.
right? And he goes, I like how Hopper's looking. He goes, you're gonna go down one road or you're gonna go down another road. One road leads you to knowing that 11 did this for you, so you can live and to have your own life, or you can mourn about her and be, and basically be saddened your whole life by it.
Yeah. Yep.
And
And
then,
he says to him too, as I've been down that road. I've been there. I was there. Like, don't you don't wanna do that.
Right, with his daughter with cancer and stuff, because
Yep.
that's all he did was he basically drowned himself in alcohol
Hmm.
and stuff. So I like that moment. I also like the Joyce and Hopper moment of them being engaged.
And Enzo's finally being in it. Yes. Yes. I
Yes.
did. I love that. Love it. Such a good moment too. And then him proposing, and oh man, it was great. It was
That was
great.
another great
And them
moment.
having a chance to go back to I guess California. I think he said it was.
Yeah, California,
No,
I
no,
think.
no. It was Montauk. It was in
Montal,
New
yeah.
York. Yeah,
Yep. But I like that. And then
yeah.
you
I did
also
like that.
have everybody at the graduation. You have Dustin who's making a speech, Valvatorian's speech. And
Best
this is
speech
a great tribute to Eddie.
Best speech. Yeah, best
Because
speech
remember,
ever.
in season 4, he said, when I graduate, I'm gonna get up on that stage, I'm gonna
Yep,
flip the principal off.
yep. I'm gonna grab
Oh,
my diploma and flip the principal off and walk out. Yeah, no,
right.
dude. It was great.
And
Dusty is awesome.
I like how he starts going like this. He goes, and I'm the wrong person to have this Valvatorian thing on me. And he starts
Mhm.
taking it off. And then he takes off the then we find out seeing the Hellfire t-shirt of
The new one.
Hellfire
Yeah,
Lives.
yeah. Love it.
And then I like how we also have the little machine that Erica was working on during this moment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
um
because I love that moment when they walk by and she's messing with the thing, and she's like, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Nothing. None of your business. Don't worry about it." And then the freaking biggest spot, like, "Oh, that's what she was doing." Yeah, okay.
I also like the Max and Lucas 1-2 moment
Yes. Yes, that moment's really nice. Yeah.
because now she's on her skateboard before she graduates. So
Mhm.
now she's able to walk, so that's good. She just needed physical therapy, just like
Yeah,
Robin's
physical
friend
therapy,
said.
yeah. Which, I don't know, 18 months seems fast, but for the '80s, but, whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
I
It's fine.
think here's the thing: as adults, time moves fast for us, but as kids, it moves slow. So I think that they should have at least, slowed it down a little bit in a kid's perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I said, little small nitpicks, but nothing
It's fine.
serious.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it.
But then you have the moments where Steve, Robin, Jonathan, and Nancy are all on the roof drinking some beers. And like, what if we did this once a month? Come
Yeah.
up here, talk. And Nancy's now going to be writing news articles and stuff like that, which is something that she's been wanting to do since season 3.
Mhm. Mhm.
You also have Robin, who's also being a disc jockey, who's trying to do it solo without Steve.
Yep.
And she goes, I don't even know what to talk about because there was nothing for her to really talk about because of the fact that there's no upside down anymore
Yeah.
and there's no talking in code. She was playing records that her parents grew up on, nothing that that she grew up on. So
Yep.
you had that moment. But I like how everybody knows who they are, stuff and repetition. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Oh,
Characterization
yeah,
of
yeah.
who they are.
I do. I like the moment too where she messes up and hits the burp button instead of the sound effect button. She's trying
Right.
to do. I can't remember what she was trying to do, but yeah. There's just that moment. Oh, and Steve's not, and then we cut to him being the baseball coach. But yeah, I just like that moment of her just not kind of knowing what to do.
The baseball coach scene for
Great.
him was perfect. Remind me
Yes.
of the whole Nuggets
Yeah.
thing that he was talking about. And I like how Jonathan goes. This is like whenever they were in the other world. He goes, "What? Maybe you should not just refer to them as Nuggets."
Yeah. 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 I do like that moment.
And
Like, you think
then,
I should have said less? You think I should have said 5 instead of 7 or whatever it
you're right.
was?
Well, you think I should have said 4?
Yeah.
Maybe not call them Nuggets.
It was so funny. That was a good moment.
And then he's also going to teach sex ed.
Yeah, that was funny too, that
And
was a hilarious moment.
there's some people in the comments on Facebook that's like, I
But
would
you
like,
gotta think though, like over time, how many times that happens. You know what I mean? Just like where whatever the person is in that town just becomes like the teacher in that
yeah,
town.
there's that
Yeah,
person that never left their town.
yeah. That's so
And
funny though, because Steve's definitely that dude for sure.
yeah, he's never left his hometown. He's now a baseball coach for the same people, like, the kids that he saved,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You have the other now you actually have Will, Mike, Dustin, and Lucas, Max,
Hmm.
and all them playing D&D.
Yep. Which I
One
love
last
that
time.
moment with her involved in it. And then, I mean, we'll talk about it a little more, but when they're all putting the books up and she puts her book up too, I do like that little moment because she's part of the group. She is.
Right.
She is officially part of the group.
But it just makes me sad to see them now leaving
Yeah.
as
Oh, parting
18-year-old.
ways and stuff. Yeah. It sucks.
And I like how the mother once again calls them back up for dinner one last time. Their
Yeah.
adventure is over with.
Hmm.
And the
But
other
I
adventure,
like the moment where she says, "What are you? What are you? You can't come up with anything," and he kind of gives them each one little last like goodbye, which I really did like. I love that moment because I did cry when I don't remember word for word what he was saying to each of them, but there were some tears coming out in those moments because he
I
was
was
really
almost
hitting it.
crying.
Yeah,
I
he was
was
hitting it out of the park, man.
because he's the storyteller and he was
Yeah.
telling stories of Dustin. Dustin is going to be in the library of the college
Yep.
doing his thing. It's about moving on from the town that you once grew up in as a child and now going into manhood or adulthood.
Yep.
And the things that you once knew are not going to be there. Everybody's going to move away. But the thing that I liked the most was where you had to see Will, and he says to Will, he goes, "You're going to meet somebody," and then you have somebody in the bar, and then you have, and I like everybody's like he's hyper focused on everybody else but himself because he doesn't want to talk about it. 11, and Max like is like, "What about you, the storyteller?" And then that's when he winds up saying, "Well, some say that the mage survived, and there are some that said that she died."
Mhm.
And then he ends up breaking it down to how 11 could basically still be alive because of the whole entire thing with 8 and stuff. So I'm thinking this: the directors are smart for this, and the writers are smart for this. Write your own ending on how you think that the show ended.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you can either believe that she's alive, or you can believe that she's dead.
Yep. It's up to
And make
you.
your own right. It's up to you, and that's what I
I
like
like to
about
think
that.
she died. I'd like to think that that was the end for her, and not that I want 11 to be dead or anything,
No,
but
me
I
either.
do think in that moment the sacrifice makes sense.
It does because her 8 already bled out. There was no illusion to or anything like
Right.
that. Otherwise, why would 11 say, "Look, I need to go. I'm sorry for doing this, but
Mhm,
please know why I'm doing it."
mhm. But I also love that moment of her being able to get away and being
Me
invisible for a
too.
moment and get like, I have no problem with that
I
either,
go
you know
back
what I
and
mean?
forth
So
with it. I go
yeah,
back and forth with it
yeah,
of like, do I like what ending would I want for
mhm.
11?
Both, like, 'cause,
Right.
again, and it gives you those where you can, like you said, go back and forth, where one day you can say, "You know what? I'm glad she stayed alive," or, "You know, I'm glad she died,"
Right.
because you get different satisfactions out of both, you know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah, yeah.
So I like that.
It's a good way to end the story.
I agree. I really like that whole entire thing where we get to pick and choose.
Mhm.
That
'Cause
instead
it
of
doesn't
it
take away from
being
anything else that happened. It really
right.
doesn't, because they always say, "Oh, when somebody comes back from a death, it doesn't mean as much," and it's like, she's not really back from a death because she might be dead, she might not. We don't really actually know the answer, so you can't really pin it down to one or the other, you gotta
No.
it's open. It's an open question.
It's an open ending according
Yeah,
to how we think and how we want it to be.
right.
And I
And
like
if you
that.
want her to be dead and that's how you wanna remember it, then she's dead and that's how you wanna remember it, yeah.
Exactly. But I like that. And then you have the final thing where as Mike and his friends are going upstairs, you see Holly and her friends brush past Mike,
Yeah.
and now they're going on their own adventures doing D&D.
Love it, love it. The only thing
It's
I
l-
do wish is that, Erica would have been in that group.
Me too, but also too, Eric is a little bit older than Holly.
Yeah, I know
So
she is, but it would have just been funny for her to have been in there with them. But I do like that moment a lot. Yeah.
I do too. And I like the fact that Derek is in this group though, too,
Yes.
with them. And
Yes.
also too, like there's this meme going around with Derek where he's waving to Mike.
Mhm.
And next thing you know, he's sitting next to Holly at the graduation.
Yes, I
And
did see that. Yeah, I saw him in the
yeah,
crowd yeah, with
so
that
it's like, damn, bro, didn't waste no time.
dude, he was on it. He was on it. Right, they're best friends now.
Right.
That's all that matters.
But
He's gonna
I
shoot a
like,
shot. He's gonna shoot a shot when they get to high school. That's what's gonna happen.
but I wouldn't mind having another adventure with these kids.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. You know, it's kind of like we were watching it before this, but like he said, the kids are really they really like stepped it up in this season, man.
I agree. I mean,
The newer cast.
I feel like this. If they did do this, I wouldn't be mad about it if they went on ahead and did it with these kids and do something totally different. But I think they want to
Is
focus
it the
something.
same actress from the first season that plays Holly? Is it the same little girl?
I don't think so.
I was gonna say I don't think it is.
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay, okay. I was gonna say I don't think it is.
No. But what I was going to say was this. I know they want to concentrate outside of Hawkins if they did
Mhm.
another one, but I don't think they are going to do any more Stranger Things with this.
I mean, it's interesting. What if there are other ones? Because remember, it's also in Russia.
True.
There is an opening in Russia. So maybe there's another dimension portal. Maybe there's another portal over there that we don't know about that, you know. Yeah, I don't know. There's ways that they could do it though, I think.
Right. But I wouldn't. Here's the thing, though. I'm already invested in these characters that they set up for them
Yeah.
to continue if they wanted to do it.
Yeah. I'm just saying there's ways they could bring it back. And, you know, maybe they have to get from Russia to Hawkins to get to them. But, you know, yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know.
But there's actually this other meme, too, I want to talk about. You know, the part where Will said, oh, where Mike winds up saying, well, you'll meet somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Did you
That
see
was
the
a
meme?
nice moment with them. I will say that too.
Right.
The moment on the tower with them was really nice.
But did you know what someone put Ted Bundy in the bar where Will is
Oh,
and
no.
having him meet? I'm like,
No, that's not nice. Come on.
no,
leave
but I
that
thought
kid
to
alone.
myself was like this. I was like, great. First, we're dealing with supernatural stuff, and now the gang has to come back to put
Leave
an
that
end
guy
to
alone. Will's trying to figure things out. He doesn't
right.
know.
That was messed up, but still,
No, it's funny. It is funny.
it is funny. But I started doing my own like fan theory of it, of how they could get back, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm not going down this thing, but
No.
still, but okay. So, but I'm gonna say this: I enjoy this series a lot. I've been watching it since 2016.
I
love the
will say
beginning.
this. This is one of the stronger finishes to a show for me.
Mhm.
It
Now,
definitely
my que-
finished really strong for me. Yeah.
Okay, my question for you is this better than Cobra Kai?
No. Well, yes and no. It's not that it's not better than Cobra Kai. It's just a different type of show for me. It's a different
Right.
type of it's a different type of show for me. So I don't know if I would say it was better or worse. I would just say that I still think Cobra Kai is my favorite show of all time, but this is definitely in the top 5. I mean, this is easily 2, 3. I mean, there's no doubt. It's up there. It's a
It's
great
eating the
show.
nostalgia for me. Is the
Yes,
thing.
100%. Yeah. No, it's
I-
definitely up there. I just enjoy Cobra Kai, I think, a little more watching it because look, there are parts of this show that are pretty mind bending and crazy. I mean, it's intense. It's an intense show. Where Cobra Kai is more of just a let's just have fun and see what happens with the characters.
Right.
I mean, it's intense, but not in the same way. You know what I mean?
I gotcha.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I think that this is actually one of the best finale endings that we had in a while.
I think so. Yeah, I would say this. It
Aside
finished
from
stronger than
Cobra
Cobra Kai for me. I would say
Cobra Kai
that.
also finished off strong.
It did, but I think this was a stronger finish than Cobra Kai
Yes.
was for me overall. Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Mhm.
But
But I
I
still
also
like
want
it
to talk
either way.
right. But I want to talk about Murray blowing up the helicopter and 11 also blowing the brains out of them.
Man. What a moment
This,
he gets.
yes.
I love Murray, dude. I love Murray. Like he's so much fun to me. Just
Murray is actually one of my favorite characters on there, and to see him
I like
blow
the
up heli-
moment, even though it's kind of messed up when they come upstairs when 8 dies or 8 is dead, and he's like he's always like the dude like telling the jokes, and then he finally is like, wait a minute, what's wrong? Where's you know he kind
Right.
of finally gets it, but he's just always the dude that's just like trying to get everybody to laugh and just have fun. Like he's always like that
Right.
guy. Yeah, I love Murray. I love Murray.
And then 11 blew the brains out, made the military dude blow his brains out.
Dude, that was a cool kill. That was really cool. I did not expect her to go that hardcore, but she was like, "No, you're all dead.
Right. She had enough
You're
of it.
all dead."
But yeah, guys, tell us in the comments. Did you like the show? Did you not like the show? Did you like the finale? Did you feel like us? It was some little small nitpicky things, but nothing major. Or did you not like it? I'd like to know in the comments and everything. If not, we're going to close this out. But I do appreciate you guys tuning in, watching anyways. I will, if you catch us on the rewatch, go on ahead and comment over there. I'll go on ahead and geek out with you guys as well. I'm also going to go on here. But but I'm going to go on ahead and close us out. I will be taking a little bit of a short break after this because I haven't had a winter break since like last year. So I am going to be taking a little bit of a break, and then I'll come back and we'll start doing some more reviews and stuff. Maybe do some most anticipated movies from 2026 and do it that way. So, but that's going to be it as far as this goes. Thank you, Don, for joining me. As always, I do appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching. And also, too, go on ahead, rate me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, where you guys got your podcast from. Tell us what you think of our show. And always until next time, guys, have a great safe night. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye. Bye.